Nintendo news, viewer questions, player spotlight, and our Nintendo Time Portal is all coming up. Stay tuned! Support this podcast by blasting that like button, sharing the stream, and subscribing right now. The Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast starts shortly. Gamers, get ready! The Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your hosts Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard starts right now.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast, episode 20, the big 2-0. Hope you guys are doing well out there. We have Frank, Hannah, Hector, Yoshi, Sagan, others coming very soon. I am Eddy Ray from NintendoChitChat.com. Episode 20, Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. Just released today, actually, in the Switch eShop. It's an open-world adventure game, lots of exploration. Check it out, guys. It's looking pretty good. It goes for $29.99, and I actually ordered myself the special edition from Signature Edition Games over in the UK, I believe, so they'll be out, I think, in a month or so. But if you want it digitally, you can get it right now in the Switch eShop for $29.99. Yonder, the Cloud Catcher Chronicles. We got Golden in chat. Good to see you guys. We got a bunch of news to talk about. We have some rumors and leaks, our time portal, player spotlight, plus your questions too. We'll have Samantha on here in a second, guys, so we'll do all this after the break. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your host, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard. We'll be right back after the short break.
Swing into action on the Nintendo Switch anytime, anywhere with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And thanks to Nintendo, you can watch Eddy traverse islands packed with platforming perfection and non-stop action as a classic Kongs in the original game, or mix things up by playing the story as Funky Kong in new Funky mode. Arctic invaders have turned Donkey Kong Island into their personal frozen fortress. It's up to you to save the day. Play as Donkey Kong in the original mode, and team up with Diddy Kong, Dixie, and Cranky Kong, each with their unique abilities to overcome platforming challenges and frosty foes. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, out now on the Nintendo Switch.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your host, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard.
Oh, there we are. Hey Samantha, how are you?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
Good, I just had my mic muted for the last minute and a half.
Oh, no.
But we're good. We got some new things going on, so I was changing some things around until I totally forgot I was muted, but we're back. But we had a lot of news to talk about today with you, and a few announcements, and also we'll getting into some rumors and I guess leaks and stuff like that as well, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So let me get everything set up here for the news. We have some announcements that people thought were brand new, but not really. And we'll get to that in a moment. But the first piece of business will be, of course, Beyblade getting a game here. This is Battle Zero for the Switch. And what's the date for this? This is only in Japan as well, I guess, correct?
Yeah, so far this has only been announced for Japan, which is October 25th, so we'll still have to wait to see if there's going to be any localization news about this one.
Gotcha. So Beyblade Burst Battle Zero for the Switch in Japan. Then here's what I was just talking about, referring to. This is Go Vacation. And this is a collection of like 50 mini games, right, Samantha?
Yes, so this is set on a resort island, and so they said there's over 50 activities. You can play it by yourself, but you can also play it cooperatively or competitively, depending on the activity, with up to 4 other players. And so this is actually a remaster of a game that came out for the Wii. And so this is coming out for the Switch on July 27th.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, this is a new Wii Sports Resort or something. And no, it's been around for a while. It's just a port, basically. And if you go back to some of the reviews for the original game, that original game had some really big issues, or some issues, I guess, regarding controls and things like that, too. So do be aware of that before you go into getting too hyped about this. But hey, it's 50 games, and I actually have the older screen here, too. This was originally by Namco and I guess Bandai Namco. Is that still the same case with this one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just doing the port then. Gotcha. So I'm not sure if that website for govacationgame.com is still up, so you can check that, guys, for yourselves. That's probably an old website from 2011, but if it's still there, cool. If not, let me know. All right, then we have a 3D action-adventure game called Giraffe and Anika. And this is coming to the Switch and PS4 in 2019. It's already out on the PC, though, correct?
No, it's coming to the PC later this year, I believe. So I believe they announced it for the first time as coming to the PC later this year, then to the Switch and PlayStation 4 in 2019. So yeah, so this is an action-adventure game, and so they released a trailer, and this looks like it could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was looking at the trailer. There's some pretty cool little sections where the character's in like a minecart in like a lava area, and also she's kind of avoiding boulders like an Indiana Jones scenario. So looks pretty cool. Is this character like a cat or something, or what is it exactly?
Yes, I don't know if they've gone into detail about that, but she does look to have that sort of cat girl sort of appearance with the ears.
And there was like a rabbit family or something she was in the house with, so it's really intriguing to me. So we'll look more into this as we learn more and pass it along to you guys. All right, so Arc System Works is bringing the original Guilty Gear to the Switch, PS4, and PC. Any more news regarding that one, Samantha?
No, not yet. I don't think they've given a release window or anything yet.
But another interesting fighting game here for the Switch, looks like. So the original Guilty Gear, keep that in mind. There's been plenty of Guilty Gears, I believe. So this will be the original
the very first
Guilty
one.
Gear. Yeah. All right. We have a really cool trailer up for this next game. So when you get a chance, go to NintendoChitChat.com. This is an NES-inspired game. This is Alwa's Awakening. And what details do we have for this one?
Yeah, so this came out for the PC last February in 2017, and I believe it got pretty good reviews. And so now it's coming to the Switch later this summer.
Awesome. Yeah, I really beg you guys to go look at the trailer. Looks really, really neat as far as platforming goes, puzzles go, and that kind of thing. Very classic with the NES style of gameplay. All right, then we have some more visual novels. We had a whole bunch last week. And yes. What are these? What are these ones? Are these brand new announcements?
I think so. Well, actually, no. I'm not positive. I think at least one of them has been out for the PC before. I think both of them were out before. Now they're coming to the Switch in Japan this fall, and these are Sengoku Rensenki and another Yoshiwara game. I think that's linked to the other two Yoshiwara games that came out on the Switch and were localized. So we'll wait and see if these ones are localized as well.
Notice how I let you do the all of the XSplit or the reading of the titles of the games, because some of these are crazy. But all right, so those will be out this fall. Now we have a really cool surprise announcement here from Level 5. And we have Layton's Mystery Journey. Catriel Monier's Conspiracy will be called, I guess, the DX version. Is that correct? Deluxe?
Yes. So this is the same game that came out recently for mobile devices and the 3DS. So now it's coming to the Switch. Yes, they've added a DX to the end of the title. It seems like the major changes are that they're going to add some sort of controller option instead of using the touchscreen. And there's also going to be some sort of toys that, similarly to the way amiibos work, you'll be able to touch them to the Switch, and in this case you'll unlock some new costumes.
Sounds really interesting. Some interesting changes. So they decided to port this one over, I guess add a few bells and whistles for it. And you just finished this game on the 3DS, correct?
Yes, I just finished it last week, I believe.
Don't sound so excited, Samantha.
I
But I figured we could take the time now to talk about that. I did play a few hours of it, never get a chance to finish it, but I went like 3 or 4 hours into the game. And what did you think overall from finishing the game compared to other entries in the series too?
Well, I'll start out with saying something positive, which is that I do like the main characters. Catriel is a very different sort of protagonist than Professor Layton was, but she's pretty funny. And her conversations with Cheryl, the talking dog especially, had some good funny moments. But it is by far my least favorite game in the series. It's not only the way it divided the story into multiple little cases, but I had thought that even with that, there would be some sort of overarching story, and there wasn't. And most of the individual cases were just kind of cute little harmless mysteries, nothing with stakes that got too high. So for quite a while through the game, it was just kind of boring.
Was like any kind of cohesiveness to it at all for you?
Well, there are the same characters, so it's the same characters appearing in all of them, and there's sort of like a vague thread running through it that when you meet one of the characters and help them out, then she tells other people about you, so that's why you're getting the later cases. But there really isn't a very consistent story throughout it until near the very end. Then it starts to finally feel a little more like a game in the Professor Layton series.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. A few hours into it.
2 hours felt like a Professor Layton game.
Yes, my few hours into it, I was like,
puzzles too.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, my few hours into it, I'm like, doesn't really feel like it's getting to any kind of like main plot or anything like that per se.
Yeah.
And it felt kind of like it was guiding just kind of on wherever I wanted to go or whatever, just kind of randomly, you know. But
yeah, well, you'd have to wait until about 20 hours into it to get any sense of the story, and then it's like a 25-hour game, so that's not
almost done with it then.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, with that said, though, I guess it's pretty good to see it coming to the Switch. I guess you could say that. Hopefully, we'll see more in the series, or maybe a brand new Layton game coming to the Switch. So,
Yes, that would be nice if they made a sequel, hopefully with a bit more of a focus on a larger story, or at least more interesting mini stories if they really want to go with this approach.
yeah, I'm not sure how I feel then about the NFC toys, then unlocking costumes and all that stuff. So, it's just added hoopla, I guess, to the title coming to the Switch. So, all right. With that said, then let's move along. We have a really interesting cyberpunk game, and this is VA11 Hall A, Cyberpunk Bartender Action. This is a really interesting game. What do you think about this, Samantha? More details about it as well?
Yes, well, this, I always just call it Valhalla because that's
Yeah.
what the letters there are supposed to look like. So yes, I've heard very good things about this game, although I haven't played it personally. It's a choice-driven game, I think similar to a visual novel or an adventure game. And so it's coming in the first quarter of 2019, and it's supposed to be pretty good. So if you like that sort of thing, keep your eye on this one.
Yeah, I was reading a few things about it too. Also watching the trailer. There wasn't too much in the trailer besides just with a teaser, more or less. But there's no dialogue options in the game at all. Basically, your choices are made by making different drinks, and then the customers, the people who drink the drinks you're making for them, they're influenced by how they like the drinks or whatever. So that's what it is.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, so keep your eye on this. But there you go. Yeah, Valhalla, Cyberpunk Bartender Action. Interesting title. All right, we have some more news regarding Brave Neptunia, World Universe Pay Attention. We talked about this last week, I think, with the weird title. Ultimate RPG Declaration was a finishing of that title, by the way. So this is being localized, correct?
Yes, and it's coming west under the much more manageable title Super Neptunia RPG. So you don't need to remember that huge title that it had in Japan. So it is coming out this fall, and we'll have dual audio if you are interested in that. And they also mentioned that it will have both English and French subtitles.
Very nice. I kind of like the first title, but yeah, it's easier to say the new one. All right. Well, let's talk more about then the shape of the world. We have a date, a price, and also a new trailer, right?
Yeah, so this is one that we talked about previously, where as you go, the world is sort of formed around you. So this is coming out on June 6th, and it will cost $12.99.
Awesome. So the trailer looks really awesome, by the way. So if you haven't checked out the game yet at all, check out the trailer. Brand new trailer available. It shows a lot of the world and kind of the idea of gameplay too. So shape of the world. All right, then we have Taiko Drum Master, the Nintendo Switch version. I like how they said Nintendo Switch version. That's what it is.
Yes.
Will be out
with the exclamation point too.
Yeah, this is the Switch version, not the Wii U, the Wii, the 3DS, the DS version. This will be out on July 19th in Japan. And we have some characters that are crossing over into this game, correct?
Yes, so among the performance characters that you'll be able to choose in this game, there will be a squid from Splatoon and Kirby, and each of those affects the game differently depending on which you choose. And they also mentioned that there will be party games that use the Joy-Con controls. And finally, they also announced a special Taiko drum controller to use with the game.
Cool. I think they've had those before for the other platforms too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, very cool. So this is the Switch version, guys. If you've played this game or this series before, you pretty much know what to expect from it. But we have some little crossover with the characters for Splatoon and Kirby. That's pretty cool. All right, then we have Code of Princess EX. We have the date for North America and Europe will be July 31st. Japan will be August 2nd, so we're actually getting it before Japan. This will be available both physically and digitally from Nicholas. And we do have a trailer here as well for it. So this is Code of Princess EX. A little bit of a port or a remaster deluxe version of the 3DS game. Okay, moving along, we have Okami HD. We have the date for Japan at least, so what's that, Samantha?
Yes, that'll be out on August 9th.
Awesome. No date for North America?
No, I think this is one of those cases where we've just got like a vague summer release window so far.
Okay. Maybe we'll hear something E3 maybe. Who knows? It's only a few weeks away, by the way. All right, we have My Heroes 1 Justice. This will be out August 23rd in Japan. but no Western release date has been announced at this time.
Right.
All right, moving along, we have a really cool physical edition for the next game by Limited Run Games. This is Pixel Junk Monsters 2. This looks really good, actually, too. So, Samantha, break down what's included in the special edition.
All right. So first of all, there's going to be both a physical edition and a collector's edition, which are both limited run, since they're coming from Limited Run Games.
Right.
So both versions will include the season pass content as well. So if you get the standard edition, it'll be the main game and the season pass content. If you get the collector's edition, you'll get that, but then also a full color manual, full color interior art, a poster, 3 art cards, a soundtrack CD, and a separate steelbook case. So it doesn't actually come in the steelbook case. You can just take the game and put it in there if you want to. And so there'll be 2,500 copies of that, and pre-orders for the physical editions will open on May 18th. So that is tomorrow.
Awesome. So if you're interested in that, guys, do get on it early. I know they sell out pretty quickly, especially over Limited Run Games. So if you want one of those editions, do check it out tomorrow. All right, excuse me. We have Golden Hawk in chat saying, Nicholas, how are you putting out all of these games? Yeah, they're pretty hot with the Switch, aren't they? It's pretty amazing. They've had a really good year last year, too. That was the launch of the Switch, and they're doing so many amazing things this year, too. So good to see all of you in chat. We got JKW sponsor, Anita's sponsor as well. Congratulations to Anita. She has 100 subs on YouTube right now. She just finished streaming Mario Kart 8 Deluxe before our podcast started. So congratulations, Anita. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, so we have a new trailer for Octopath Traveler, right?
Yes, and so last time we had discussed how the commercial showed the remaining characters' names, and so people were believing that they would be Cyrus and Ophelia. So now those 2 characters have been officially revealed in the latest character trailer. Cyrus is a scholar, and his field skill is Scrutinize, which lets him get information from characters. And Ophelia is a cleric whose skill is Guide, which lets her take people with her. So as we noticed when they announced the Noble and Rogue path actions, there is one for each, like one of each of those for each field skill. So with basically 4 field skills. So now we have the remaining 2. And so then this trailer also talked about talents, because each of the characters, in addition to what they'll be able to do out in the field, they also have special talents that they'll be able to use in combat. And after it went into some detail about the party structure and how you'll be able to, I believe you trade or change party members at the inn, so you leave certain characters who aren't in your active party in the inn, and then you can go to the inn to switch them in or out. They also confirmed that you will be able to follow all of the stories of the characters that you recruit, so you can see all 8 in a single playthrough, which is very good news, because I know a lot of us were concerned that with how they were emphasizing that you have 8 separate stories and the character you pick determines where your story begins.
Right.
We're thinking, is this going to be like 8 short games? We have to play it 8 times, but yeah, but they've confirmed that in some way at least you'll be able to see all of them in a single playthrough, although it looked like you might have to select the individual stories in some sort of mission format. Okay. So we'll see how that works out.
Doesn't sound too bad, though. That's great. Yeah, and the trailer we have then for this is almost about 3.5 minutes long, too, actually, plus that. So
yes.
Check it out, guys, on NintendoChitChat.com, and this is shaping up to be a really good game, so I'm very hyped for this. All right. Another great game we have coming up for the Switch 2, which releases in June, I believe, right? This is Mario Tennis Aces. So we actually have a demo, an online tournament launching. This is for pre-launch, too. So what are the details for this one, Samantha?
All right. Well, the demo will become available on May 24th from the eShop. And then the online tournament is taking place between June 1st and June 3rd. So everyone who participates in the tournament on those days will also be able to unlock Mario's classic outfit for use in the main game. And they mentioned that there will also be offline gameplay available through the demo if you want to practice or play against the computer. So I'm not entirely sure if that means you'll be able to start playing it right away on May 24th, or if you'll still have to play it during the tournament period. So I'm sure we'll find out more about that soon. And then there was also a new trailer that shows off the adventure mode. So that looks like it's going to be pretty interesting too.
Yeah, I think Mario Sports is really back now with this game. They're doing a lot of great things for this, and plus they have some pre-launch events going on with this tournament, so that's really good hype for it. So guys, do check out the trailer. All of those dates, times we mentioned, are also in the news article as well on NintendoChitChat.com. We'll take a short break here with Samantha. We'll be back in a few moments, guys, with more news, plus rumors, leaks, and more. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard. We'll be right back after the short break.
Today's episode is brought to you by NintendoChitChat.com for the love of gaming. Our site is newly redesigned, so do check it out. It gives you quick and easy access to our Nintendo news article, our time portal, reviews, interviews, and so much more. Sign up for a free account to access our forums and live chat rooms, and make your own profile as well over at NintendoChitChat.com for the love of gaming. Today's episode is brought to you by NintendoReport.com. Fresh gaming news every 20 minutes. When you visit the homepage, you'll find direct information from Nintendo themselves. We source their YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr accounts. Maybe you want even more details? Click on Nintendo Franchise News. Here we source the main franchises for Nintendo directly from the Facebook pages for The Legend of Zelda, Mario Kart, Super Mario, and Splatoon. If you want more Nintendo news, click on Other Nintendo News. Here we source the main media outlets that cover Nintendo. Outlets such as Nintendo Everything, Nintendo Life, Game Explain, Nintendo Today, Nintendo Enthusiast, and more. Again, updated every 20 minutes. And don't forget the NCC feed for NintendoChitChat.com. You'll find the latest details here from our website, directly sourced here, all for you. NintendoReport.com, fresh gaming news every 20 minutes.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your host, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard.
All right, guys, welcome back. So yeah, we've got tons of more news to talk about. We have our rumors to talk about as well, plus the time portal, your questions, and more. So hang tight, guys. Thanks for joining us today, episode 20. Yonder, the Cloudcatcher Chronicles, out now in the Switch eShop. All right, Samantha, welcome back.
Thank you.
We've got a bunch of more news to go through here. So we have Little Dragon's Cafe news as well. And what is the news for this one?
All right, well, they've gone into detail about the limited edition, because I believe before they said that there would be a limited edition version, but didn't say what would be in it. So now we know more about that. It will cost $79.99 and include the game, a 17-track soundtrack, 8 collectible character cards, and a baby dragon plushie.
Cute. This will be out then in Japan August 30th as well. So.
Right, yes.
Awesome, that sounds really good. I think I actually already have mine pre-ordered, so I pre-ordered before I knew what was in it. So there we go. Super hyped for this game. Really has a Wind Waker feel to it, so I'm looking forward to that as well. All right, guys, so we have a game called RPG Moonlighter. And
no, the game's called Moonlighter. It is an RPG.
It's an RPG. Gotcha. Sorry, I was looking at the. I was looking back and forth here. So the RPG, it's called Moonlighter. And is this a new announcement as well?
And no, actually, this was announced a while ago. I think we might have discussed it when it was first announced. This is the one, I believe, where you are a shopkeeper during the day and then at night you go adventuring.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I do recall that.
Yes, so they released this platforms comparisons trailer, which is rather amusing because it does go through some of the gameplay features, but their basic point with this trailer is to say that no matter which version you get, it's going to be the same.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, this is one I didn't get a chance to look at beforehand, and it's actually really hilarious. They're doing that.
Yes, because the trailer keeps going through the footage of the game while just changing which platform it's listing.
They have switched.
Say that you'll get the same experience.
Yeah, they have switched PS4, Xbox, PC. It's like it's all the same people. Stop asking those questions. That's pretty funny. That's cool though. Good little marketing technique there too.
Yes.
All right. Then we have a new gameplay trailer, which was down earlier today. I'm not sure. Did you have to replace this trailer, or just something with YouTube?
Yeah, no, the whole trailer was down, and so then I went and searched for it again and found it. So maybe they had to re-upload it for some reason.
Okay.
So I had added again.
This is for Tohu Genzo or Genzo Wanderer Reloaded. So we have some gameplay showing exploration, combat, item fusion, and more. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious as to why it was taken down beforehand, but there we go, we have it back up now. From a different source, I think you said, right?
No, it's the same source.
It's the same source, okay.
Developer, the publisher, whichever one it was, I think is the same that I got it from the first time, so I'm not sure what happened before.
Gotcha, yeah. Really odd, but it's back up, so. All right, so that trailer is there for you guys. Moving along, we have some new details for the Switch version of this new Jake Hunter detective story game. This is Prism of Eyes. What do we know about this one?
Yeah, so this is the one that was just announced last week, the new entry in the series that is going to have 4 all-new stories as well as 10 remastered stories from previous entries. And so this one, they went into some more detail about like the 3 main stories that are going to be in this one, which for the first time, 2 of the other characters are each going to star as the protagonist in a main story. So the impression I got is that in some of the other ones, they were temporarily playable, but they were never the actual main stars of the story. So now they have their own stories, and so those will be among the new content in this one.
That sounds really good. Excellent. All right, guys, so that's Jake Hunter detective story Prism of Eyes for the Switch. All right, so now we have some more details regarding your ability to play Smash Bros, the new one, at E3. There's actually some technical things with this regarding how you actually get the chance to play it, correct?
Yes, so as you can imagine, Nintendo is probably assuming that with how much people are excited for this game, they would just be mobbed at E3 when they have it playable at the booth. So instead, you're going to have to reserve a time slot to play Super Smash Bros. At E3. So as long as you register to attend E3 by May 31st, you'll receive an email from the E3 organizers on June 5th that will give you instructions on how to reserve an electronic ticket for one of the time slots to play Super Smash Bros. And then when you attend E3, you will need to bring your ticket with you, either by printing out a copy or having a copy saved on your phone. And so they also mentioned that if, aside from that, if you're at E3 and you bring your Nintendo Switch with you, you have a chance of being given an exclusive pin.
Cool. So you're taking a $300 item to a public event, and you get a pin.
I probably wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do it either. The heck with the pin, seriously. I would not risk my Switch amongst an E3 crowd. Especially the fact they have the public there coming to the E3 now, so it's one of those things. But this is probably the best thing to do is have it organized this way for having you reserve and register your time slot, because otherwise it'd just be too chaotic. It would be insane.
Yes.
So that is the news for that, guys. So if you're going to E3, make sure you register by May 31st. So you have about a week and a half, 2 weeks to do that in time for E3. So you get a chance to actually play the new Smash Bros. For the Switch. We have everybody hype in chat for Smash Bros. We have Dank and JKW. Everybody's hype for Smash Bros. So looking forward to it as well. All right.
And I don't think they said how long the time slot will be.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about that either. I'm assuming probably a few minutes.
They did mention that they will be limited.
Yeah.
So it's possible it could run out.
And it's probably, the sooner you probably register, the better. So do that right now if you're going to E3. All right, so we have Switch and 3DS news. We have some more news regarding Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido. What news do we have for this one?
Yeah, so this is just a new overview trailer. Again, this is the odd game where it's a puzzle game where you're attacking your opponent with sushi plates. So this one was originally announced for the 3DS, and now it was announced for the Switch as well. So this is an overview trailer that gives a general look at the gameplay.
Great. I think both versions are coming out at the same time, if I recall correctly, right?
Yes, I think that's right.
Yeah. Very cool. So I'm actually excited for this game, so looking forward to it. Plus, I love sushi, so it's a game. Sushi and games, there we go. Got it all. All right, so we have more Jake Hunter detective story to talk about. This is the 3DS version. This is Ghost of the Dusk, right?
Yeah, so these are separate games. So this is not the game that we were previously talking about. This one came out, I believe, Yes, I believe this one came out last year in Japan, and so now it's coming this fall in North America. So yes, so I think that's the first time we had a release window. They had announced previously that it was being localized, but now we know it'll be this fall. And so they went through a little gameplay information. You'll be investigating the crime scenes as you go through this mystery, and there will also be passwords that you can find in the game that will then let you unlock additional side stories and other bonus content.
Very cool. So if you only have a 3DS and want to play some Jake Hunter Detective Story, you have a chance with Ghost of the Dusk. All right, with some industry news regarding the NES Classic Edition. Of course, we knew about this, I think last year they announced they're going to be reproducing these consoles. So now we have an actual date, right, Samantha?
Yeah, so this is going to be back on the shelves on June 29th. And they said that they expect it, as well as the Super NES Classic Edition, to be available throughout the end of the year. So if you missed your chance to get one, you're going to have another opportunity.
Yeah, this is interesting. I never actually saw either one of these ever on a store shelf before. And even the SNES Classic, that had some more production runs on it, but never saw it ever in a shop, on a shelf at all. So if you guys have, let me know in chat. We have some people from the UK here. We have people from all over the United States as well. So if you've seen them in Target or Walmart, wherever you've seen them, let me know if you've seen them actually on the shelf. I have not. I was lucky enough to get the SNES Classic on eBay, and then I got the NES Classic on, actually in New York City, at Nintendo store, when it actually launched. I was lucky enough to get it on launch day there. But there we go. So June 29th. Be prepared to stand in line and be disappointed as well, probably. I think I saw a tweet. I'm not sure where it was from. Some news source. I think there's going to be 50,000 available in Germany entirely. So that's a good number, I think, just for one country. So I'm not sure what the numbers are for North America, individual states. No idea, but do check out that if you're interested in June 29th. All right, guys. We'll take a short break. We have much more to do. We have the time portal, your questions, and of course our player spotlight coming up with Samantha. So we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by NintendoChitChat.com. For the love of gaming. Our site is newly redesigned, so do check it out. It gives you quick and easy access to our Nintendo news article, our time portal, reviews, interviews, and so much more. Sign up for a free account to access our forums and live chat rooms, and make your own profile as well over at NintendoChitChat.com. For the love of gaming.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your host, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard.
All right, we are back, guys. I have like a new setup here, kind of, so I'm kind of struggling through things here with you, so I apologize. But we got your questions here. You guys submitted all of these questions via Discord.
Are we doing the rumors first?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Yeah, we can actually do that. I'm all discombobulated today. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's do that, actually. So we have a bunch of rumors to talk about regarding some leaks. I guess mostly regarding E3. Is that right?
Yes, I guess, although I don't think they specifically mentioned E3, but at least potential leaks or rumors about major upcoming games.
Right. All right, so what's the first one we have on the top of the list? We have, I guess, Pokemon is where it's at, right?
Yes. So you've probably seen it by now that people started spreading rumors that the new Pokemon games will be called Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, which will essentially be remakes of Pokemon Yellow with that sort of gameplay. But you have a choice of either the Pikachu version or the Eevee version, and that the Go comes from some sort of Pokemon Go integration. So there have been a few different rumors, or a few different sources backing this one up, which does make it a bit more credible. But then also a company that has handled trademarks for Nintendo in the past trademarked these two names. So that is also adding credibility to them.
Yeah, I kind of actually like the integration if they did it with Pokemon Go. They're still doing lots with Pokemon Go. It was a big hit back in 2016. It still is pretty popular. But if they integrate that into a Switch game, that could be pretty huge, I think. What do you think about that, Samantha?
Oh, well, I think it depends on how they do it. Like if it ends up being something where you need to play Pokemon Go to get the best, or get the best experience from the new Pokemon games, that's not going to do much for those of us who don't have Pokemon Go. But if it's just some sort of bonus feature, or if they just added something similar, like maybe another sort of Pokewalker function, because that was interesting, then that might be all right.
Yeah, this doesn't quite have the feeling of being a mainline thing to me. How about you?
Right, yeah, I would be surprised if the big hyped Pokemon is coming to the Switch game was remakes of Pokemon Yellow. That would seem kind of odd to me.
Right.
But it could be. People do like remakes sometimes.
True, very true. Yeah, so, I guess as we learn more, we'll pass it along. But, of course, with E3 around the corner, there's lots of rumors and things leaking, and they could be fakes, they could be real. But we'll figure it out, I guess, in a few weeks at E3. All right, so we have some Star Fox to talk about as well, and this is regarding a racing game, apparently by Retro Studios, right?
Yeah, so this was the other major rumor that was circulating this week, is that people with multiple sources, and then Eurogamer backed them up, saying that, I believe they said that they had heard similar things, or that they had a source that was saying similar things, that Retro Studios has been working on a Star Fox racing spin-off game called Star Fox Grand Prix, which would have a hub world and adventure mode similar to Diddy Kong Racing, and gameplay similar to F-Zero, which of course has made people say, then why not just make an F-Zero game? But so,
because,
so there are...
You know why, though? Because it's F-Zero, that's why. Seriously, I mean, this is new and cool if it's true.
So yes, the multiple sources do make this one a little credible, although it is also odd at the same time. But it also does have that sort of odd feeling that it might just be odd enough that it's something that they would do. So we'll have to wait and see if any sort of announcement comes out about this.
I mean, this might be able to grab the attention of people who don't know much about Star Fox. Being that we had Star Fox Zero, I guess 2 mediocre reviews on the Wii U, and then of course Guard that was packaged with it. Might be a good way to keep the branding and the name out there in people's minds on the Switch, and if it does well enough, maybe a new mainline Star Fox game. But I could use more racers on the Switch, especially from Nintendo publishers and developers. So yeah, this is really interesting to me. The lore of Star Fox, the universe and everything, the characters are all there, so I'm really hyped about that if it's true. What do you guys think in chat? Let us know. But I think that's pretty much the big rumors at this time, correct?
Yes, I'm actually not sure if we ever talked about the Wave Race rumor that came out last month.
Yeah, I don't think we did. So we can actually discuss that right now if you like. Go ahead. What was that one?
So this one isn't the usual sort of leaked rumor. This was a case where the general manager of Nintendo's Entertainment Planning and Development Division, who was also one of the main people who had been involved with the Wave Race series, was being interviewed, and they asked if Wave Race would come to the Switch, and he said, we have been trying to make many games, and that may be one of them. So it was very vague, saying that you could be seeing some Wave Race soon, so there's a possibility of that.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to say it. You may see that game again or something, he said, so that's really interesting. Yes. That's cool. So that's regarding Wave Race. Very nice. All right, yeah, so Star Fox being, I think, and Pokemon being the big ones there too. So as E3 comes upon us, though, like I said, we're going to have lots more of these pop up, and some will be debunked ahead of time, and some won't. But as we learn more, we'll pass it along to you guys on the podcast. All right, so we can actually dive right then into our questions, if you like, Samantha.
Oh, all right.
Cool. All right, you guys submitted our questions here for this week. We picked 3. You can do so by emailing us, NintendoChitChat@gmail.com, or going to Discord. We have the invitation link below the video here. Of course, go to Discord, then NCC-podcast, and leave us your gaming questions regarding basically anything on Nintendo systems. And the first question we have, let's see here, it is from, I think, Simon, if I recall. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. You get like a drum roll here. Yeah, Simon asks, will Nintendo update Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? And when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe actually came out on the Switch back, I guess, May of last year, I thought that was a possibility. Maybe a new DLC pack or something at E3 or in December, but nothing ever happened. So at this point, I think the answer to that is probably no. They're probably putting ideas together for the next Mario Kart, whether it be number 9 or something, or Nintendo Kart, whatever way they decide to go with the franchise. But what do you think, Samantha?
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel too. I could imagine them maybe coming up with some little updates, like to make some changes or improvements or something like that. But as for major updates, I don't think so. I think they probably wanted Mario Kart 8 Deluxe out there to have a Mario Kart game on the Switch right away, and to take advantage of the fact that there were many more Switch owners than there are Wii U owners. So a lot of people who might get it who hadn't played it previously. But I think that now they would be turning their attention to working on the next mini Mario Kart game.
Right, and Cumulative actually mentioned in comments here as well, so I was thinking too, I forgot to say it. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is already the full version of Mario Kart 8, with being Deluxe in the title too, so why would you want to add more to it? As far as download content goes, it would make sense really to that title, so it makes a lot of sense thinking that way. So yeah.
Yes, well, some companies would do that.
True.
Let's not get into
Yeah.
that.
They would then put out a physical copy, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Elite Edition or something, I don't know. But yeah, I think they're really on to the next installment in Mario Kart. Now, we could possibly see, maybe for the first time, another Mario Kart on the Switch, possibly. Who knows? But with the Switch being a new platform, maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, we'll have a new Mario Kart on the Switch again that you can play. So, all right. Next question we have is from Silver Fox. Hannah, are you disappointed that the Mitomo service is no longer running? A quick answer, absolutely not. Because I kind of lost excitement about it the first week or two, actually, after I tried it. What about you, Samantha?
Yeah, I downloaded Mitomo and I logged into it a few times. I think maybe I spent a week or two with it, and then I just kind of forgot about it. So
yeah.
No, I don't miss it because I was already long gone from it.
Yeah, same here. I know they were doing some updates and there was always content available. I think the biggest feature in that was taking pictures with your Mii and posing pictures. That was like the biggest feature in that.
Yes.
It didn't quite grab attention like I thought it would. It didn't have that quirkiness like Miitopia has or Tomodachi Life has on the 3DS. So yeah, I kind of lost interest in it like within a couple weeks as well. So yeah, but I think they've learned from this though.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be doing, of course, you can still make a Wii, or make a Mii, I should say, on the website, apparently. So what do you think, Samantha? What were you going to say?
Now, of course, Miiverse, I definitely missed that.
Yeah.
But Miitomo, not so much.
Right. Yeah, Miiverse is definitely missed, but Miitomo, I agree. Yeah, so apparently you can still make a Mii eventually once they get that website up and running. But yeah, as far as the service goes, no, don't really miss it at all. But thanks for the question. All right, so we have our last question here, and this is from, let's see here, Dank. Dank says, do you prefer a live Nintendo E3 conference or a pre-recorded direct? And I actually prefer the pre-recorded directs style now that we have the last 3 or 4 years. What do you think, Samantha?
All right, now I'll say that when they first made the Switch, I didn't like it. That very first year that they did the pre-recorded conference instead of the in-person conference, that I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good. I thought it was one of the weakest ones. But since then, they seemed like they really got good ideas of how to use that format to their advantage. Their advantage to have like goofy things going on in the video and all sorts of sort of just general ridiculousness along with the game announcement.
Yeah, we had we had the claymation type thing, I think, in one of the E3s. Then we had the Star Fox characters as well, with the Muppets, I think. So, yeah. But go ahead.
And so that, together with the way they do the Nintendo Treehouse stuff now, I definitely like that a lot better because they have their conference, the pre-recorded video, but then they just start in with the gameplay footage and new announcements and just continue throughout the rest of E3. And I found that to be an excellent format that is... I think I prefer that to the way they used to do it, but not that first year that they switched.
Right, yeah. It took a little while to get their footing, I think, with it. But yeah, I agree. Plus, they can package a whole bunch of stuff into a half an hour, 40-minute video directing presentation, rather than having problems like I am doing stuff live. You know, you have problems, there's things that break, there's weird, awkward pauses or whatever during presentations sometimes. But seeing a video direct, you have announcements, you have video packages all edited together nice for you to see. Plus, then, the Treehouse is what adds a whole bunch to that then, because you get announcements during Treehouse, you get to see gameplay, which is great. You get to see the actual, not CGI, you get to actually see the gameplay of the games, plus interviews and discussions with the developers of the game too. So yeah, I really like the way they do it now as well. Let us know in chat what you guys think about that. And Cumulative says he loves the Muppets. Yeah, I do too. I actually saw those in New York City. They actually have them in the Nintendo store up there in New York City, so it's pretty cool. Okay, those are your 3 questions, guys. And of course, our player spotlight then here for this week is Cumulative, who's in chat right now, which is really good. So congratulations to Cumulative. Wish him well on Discord. Congratulations to you for supporting the channel and the podcast with all of your comments and helpful hints as well for the gameplays that I do on YouTube. So congrats to you, Cumulative, for being our player spotlight of the week. And we're going to dive then, guys, right into our time portal. Are you ready, Samantha?
I am ready.
All right, so this is issue 16. We got some great things here, 2 of which I've never heard of before. And those are the latter part of this. So, but the first one is regarding a pretty popular game. Super Mario RPG comes to North America on May 13th. And what date was that?
It's May 13th, 1996. So it's been quite a while since Super Mario RPG came out.
Very cool. And this is the Legend of the 7 Stars that was subtitled, correct?
Yes, and so of course this was the very first Mario RPG, so it sort of paved the way for Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi, which are considered spiritual successors to it. And then this is the unusual situation where this was a Mario game that was actually developed by Square, which I believe is the reason why we have never seen characters like Geno and Mallow again, despite fans asking for them, because I believe Square owns them.
Wow, I'm trying to type in the chat here. I can't even type. Oh my gosh. Can't even spell. So let's try to say congrats to Cumulative, and my space did not work in my keyboard. So but yeah, so there we go. Super Mario RPG. Very cool. Yeah, I totally forgot about Square being involved with this.
Yes, they actually developed it.
Yeah, pretty cool. Did you actually play this game, Samantha? I'm assuming you did, right?
Yes, I did. I got it on whatever virtual console it's available for. Is that on the Wii U or the Wii eShop? I can't remember which it is, but I got it from the eShop and played it and enjoyed it.
I think it's the Wii U. I'm not totally sure, though. Yeah, very cool. Man, I was 16 years old at 1996. Now I'm too old. All right, guys. May 15th, Eddy Odyssey comes to North America. And this is the original one, and this was on the DS, right?
Yes, so this was the very first Etrian Odyssey game. It came to North America after its first it came out in Japan in January, but then on May 15th, 2007, it came to North America. And of course, the big thing with this series was that it was this sort of dungeon crawling, but it let you use the second screen, the touch screen, to draw your own map, and that became the big feature for the series, which is why it did so well on the DS and 3DS.
Awesome. Then we have, of course, the final entry on the 3DS coming out this year as well. Very cool. All right, so then we have these 2. I never actually heard of this. Starship Damre. Well, actually, no, I've heard of this before, but I never played it before. Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before in articles or whatever. So what is this, Samantha, and what's the date for this too?
Yes, yeah, I think I included this one on like the top 3DS hidden gems or something like that. Yes, so this came out on May 16th, 2013 for the 3DS eShop. This was another game in Level 5's Guild Collection, which we talked about previously because I think I included Attack of the Friday Monsters on one of the time portals. Yeah, so this one was a very short game, but it is sort of a classic survival horror game. And so you're on this creepy abandoned starship where something terrible has clearly happened. So you're going around and trying to figure out what happened. And one of the things that they made a point of was that there's no tutorial. So you just start up the game and have to figure out what to do.
Pretty interesting premise. Very cool. So if you guys played this in chat, let me know. I never have, so.
I liked it. It was very short, like I said, like
Yeah.
short enough that I feel like you need to make that point that it is a very short game.
Right.
But for what it was pretty cool.
To avoid disappointment, it's very, very short. So you say it's short, but how short, like in hours, is it? A few
maybe
hours
an hour.
only? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so it's very short. Wow. Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Or maybe it was a little longer. I'm not sure. I think I played it in a single sitting, though. So,
So play it an hour or two. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Then we have this one as well. This is
Yeah, I think maybe it was like 2 hours.
Okay, 2 hours. We have Blue Dragon, Awakened Shadow, and this is released in North America on May 18th, back in 2010 on the DS. And this is an action RPG, right, Samantha?
Yes, and I've always been kind of curious about this because the Blue Dragon series, the first one was, I believe, a turn-based RPG on the Xbox 360. It was exclusive to the Xbox 360. Then they brought a strategy RPG as the sequel to the DS. And then this one, which was an action RPG on the DS. So kind of odd. So yeah, so this came to North America on May 18th, 2010. And unfortunately, it didn't do too well, despite, as I listed here, having a pretty impressive group behind it.
Yeah.
It had Hironobu Sakaguchi as its director, Akira Toriyama as the character designer, Nobuo Uematsu as the composer, and Hideo Baba as one of the producers. But despite all of this going into it, it was got a mediocre reception with people saying basically it's an okay RPG, but you can do a lot better. And I don't think there's been anything from the series since then.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there has been, but I guess not with that answer. So, yeah, all the way back in 2010, 18 years ago then. It's pretty interesting.
Not 8 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, 8 years ago. Yeah, wow. I need some coffee or something here. Wow. But 8 years ago, yeah. So it's pretty interesting though how those three games I think you mentioned were all different kinds of RPGs. They couldn't quite find their way making this game or something, and they had to change it up for each entry, which ended up not working for them.
Yeah, I've gotten the impression that the first one is generally considered the best, but being an Xbox exclusive JRPG, it didn't sell too well. And so then they tried a couple different things for the sequels, and those weren't received too well.
Right. Very cool. So I'll have to check this out, see if I can actually find a really cheap copy just to play, just to see what it's like, being that it's on the DS. So there you go, guys. That is a time portal for this week. Great job there, Samantha, for issue number 16. All right, thanks for submitting your questions as well, guys, for this week's episode. Again, email us, NintendoChitChat@gmail.com, or go to Discord, leave your questions there. The more questions you ask, the better. So those of you who ask questions, keep asking them for us, for Samantha and I. And before we go, Samantha, any little plugs or anything going on that you want to talk about?
Oh, well, the one thing I'm going to mention is that for all the complaining that I did earlier about Layton's Mystery Journey, the anime based on the series seems like it's off to a much better start so far. You can find some with English subtitles, and it's still separate mini stories, but they're much more interesting and feel much more Layton fitting, with just absurd twists and goofy premises. So that is off to a better start than the game in the storytelling area.
Well, that's a good sign as far as that's concerned.
Yes.
Hopefully it translates over to the game next entry in the series. Yeah. All right, Samantha, thanks very much. We'll be back with you next Friday then for the podcast.
All right.
All right, have a good weekend. Everybody wish Samantha a great weekend. This is episode 20, guys, wrapping it up. We'll be back next Friday for episode 21 as we get closer and closer to E3. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm going to grab some coffee before next podcast, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Grab the audio version of the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or Player FM. Visit our website at NintendoChitChat.com and catch up on everything Nintendo.